let's fly away.
It's cuckoo, baby. We are swinging.
If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on and fly with me. Let's fly away.
And as we get into this ring-a-ding morning on AM970, The Answer at 8:25 with Joe Piscopo, we always like to turn to Steve Adubato, our PBS anchor, author of What Were They Thinking? Steve Adubato, good morning and welcome to the show, brother.
It's always good to fly with my man, Joe Piscopo. You like that segue?
Yeah, I love it, baby. Hey, first of all, our condolences to your lovely wife's grandma. I know you were supposed to be on earlier, and that's a tough thing. How old was she, Jen's grandma?
Ann Marsh, my wife Jennifer's grandmother, was 96 years young, sharp as a tack, read the newspaper, was aware of current events, wanted to talk about the governor last time I talked to her. How's the governor doing? Is everything going to work out?
Wow.
I said, Nan, you're 96. You got anything else to think about? That's what she wanted to talk about. That was my wife's grandmother. But we shift gears because today is my wife Jennifer's birthday, Joe.
Oh, my gosh, this is great. This is great. Well, happy birthday. Hey, happy birthday to you. Happy
Joe,
birthday. Huh? What do you think?
We got to talk, Joe.
Uh-oh. You're going to think...
Joe, you know when you met my wife, Jen?
Yes?
She was really, really young.
Yeah. You are bad. You're so bad. I don't want... You would dare not say your wife's age on the radio, would you?
No, I would not. What are you, crazy, Joe?
She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's young.
She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She worked out this morning. We worked out together. She didn't talk to me in our house gym, where she just ignores me. But here's the question, Joe. For guys like us, because when I turned 50 a few years ago, I celebrate birthdays every other year now.
But you look. So Steve, you look great, by the way. You look, and I have to ask you this, man. I don't want to interrupt you, Steve Adubato. And we really do have politics here, ladies and gentlemen. But let me just talk to Steve for a second. How much younger is Jen than you, if I may ask?
15.
Oh, my man.
What am I, Donald Sterling?
This is great.
I'm on CNN last night. They go, what is the attraction of younger women or older men? I go, well, how much older? Like, we talking like 80 and 30? Or are we talking about like 50, 53, 40, 37? Like, what are we talking about? I said, does money and power have anything to do with it? It's like if Donald Sterling was like an 80-year-old guy, like working class guy, and this young woman with the visor. I don't know what her name is this week. But here's the thing. How many Google 80-year-old guys, 30-year-old women, no money with the guy. See how many relationships are going on.
I know.
That's all I'm going to say.
You're so funny.
I'm not saying my wife wouldn't be with me if I didn't have money and power. I'm just saying, Joe Piscopo.
I know. I always just back in. Every time I meet a new gal, I just back in with my wallet out. But meantime, it's like they end up taking it anyway. Al's got to throw it.
Steve, I just Googled that. Steve, I just...
Lose your job on the radio.
No. I just Googled that 80-year-old guys, 30-year-old women. It came up blank. So...
You know, my wife said to me, my wife Jennifer is loyal, she's loving, she's wonderful. She goes, don't lose your gig on TV. And she goes, I saw your portfolio. Make sure things are going well.
Yeah, I know.
I'm joking.
It's so true. I always say, the joke I always make on the air is like, I'm older. I'm going to have, I told my son, Joey, I said, if I go down, I said, keep me alive because I'm going to have all these women around me trying to pull the plug. Let me drool, man. Hey, he's dead, right?
What were we talking about?
Oh my God!
It makes me uncomfortable.
You know what's so funny? It's like you're gonna have to write a sequel to your book. What were they thinking for Donald Sterling?
I was going to ask, what the hell was my wife thinking when she married me? But that's another.
No, you guys are loving, and I don't think age has anything to do with it. I really don't.
I don't think either.
But this,
and I may have to, trade her in a couple years.
Oh,
come on, stop!
I'll tell you, I'm all right now. I'm okay now.
By the way, my wife Jennifer. If you Google Jennifer Adubato, she is so hot and sexy. She's a realtor, and I'm not saying she uses her sex appeal to sell. But let me just tell you, she is beautiful, hot, sexier than when I met her when she was 22.
You don't have to get a birthday present now. Just for that alone. Frank's going to send you the audio of this, okay?
Frank Morano, please do that, because I need it.
Hey, what'd you get, Steve, between you and I want to ask you about Governor Christie, about this film tax thing, but what did you get? What did you get for a present for your beautiful wife? Did you get...
I'm sorry, there's a little audio problem on the radio. So, Joe, it's 8:28 in the morning. Will you give me a break?
We did
It's early in the day. I'm going to be out on the road.
Two
and when
words.
I come back home today. Before I go back to CNN tonight.
Go ahead.
Plug.
Yeah.
Before I go back to talk about this very important story with Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
Before I go there, I will come home and bring my beautiful wife Jennifer something very special.
I got 2 words for you. Dancing Jewelers. What do you think, huh? We got Hasbrook Heights, one of our sponsors. I'm just saying.
And can you call it in?
We got it. We will get you the deal of the century over there, right? All right,
Frank,
Al.
I'll call him as soon as we get off the air.
Yeah, I'm a romantic. See, we're from Avellino. Our people got romantics. Al won't let me get a
outside
ring.
Naples, right?
Yeah, that's it. So you got to leave with your heart. You get a little something over there. Hey, Steve Adubato, and thanks for taking the time to join us. Because I know you're all over CNN and you got a very busy schedule. I missed this story. I don't know how I missed the story. Governor Christie resets the film tax credit hike. What did he do with that now?
What?
Governor Christie reset the film tax credit hike, which means, I've always been one. Do you remember that when it was Jim McGreevey who put in this whole new, he was bringing film production to Jersey.
Yeah, a lot of film was coming to Jersey.
Yeah, so, and now what gets me crazy, Steve, is when they shoot things like Boardwalk Empire, and then for crying out loud, they shoot it in Brighton Beach. They don't even come to. Remember they were going to go to Asbury Park with Boardwalk Empire, and they did not. So
the tax situation wasn't right.
So the governor apparently he resists a film tax credit hike. It was in the what was in the Post today, Frank?
Yeah, it's in the Post front page of the business section.
So, Frank, let me be clear: is he fighting the hike in the?
Yeah, right now he did away with tax breaks for film production, and evidently, in spite of mounting pressure both from the state legislature and from the film industry, he says he's not bringing it back.
Yeah, but we got to stay on him, Steve, because you got to bring film production back to Jersey, and you got to give us.
Can I just be clear, Joe?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and you are a film guy.
Yeah.
Here's the catch.
Yeah.
The other headline on the front page of every paper except the Post and the Daily News, look at the Jersey papers.
Yeah.
New Jersey is in a budget hole like you cannot believe. And I'm not saying you balance the budget with film tax money.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Every investment house is saying New Jersey's fiscal situation is out of control. And if we do not find revenue under any rock, anywhere we need to find it, we are not going to close this budget hole. So if we say, hey, listen, the film tax situation, we got to give them a break. Property tax, got to give them a break. Income tax, got to give them a break. We give everybody a break, right?
Yeah.
The problem's going to be, give schools, send them more money. Everybody wants that.
Yeah.
The problem's going to be we're not going to be able to close this budget gap.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, I don't know, I'm not an expert on that particular tax,
but
everybody wants everybody else to take the hit, Joe. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? That's a great viewpoint. And what do you think of, what does Governor Christie do about this pension and welfare? Is he you can't, if it's in place, he leaves it. When he's talking about cutting down on the pension and welfare, that's in the future he's speaking, right, Steve Adubato?
Here's what he's saying. A deal was cut, and I thought it was a really good deal between Governor Christie and the Democrats in the legislature. Here's what they said. They said, look, our pension situation is out of control. We owe billions and billions of dollars, and we have to start, the debt is out of control. We got to start paying down on the debt, right?
Yeah.
But they also asked state workers to make some concessions, which they are not so willing to do, but they ultimately made the concessions. But the state had to start making their quote-unquote contribution from the state general treasury into the pension fund. Now Christie is saying, yeah, I know we said we were going to do it, but that was before tax revenue was like $600 million short just in the last month.
Yeah.
So now Christie's saying maybe we can't keep the promise we said we were going to keep because the fiscal situation is so out of control again. I think the governor should keep the promise, but keeping the promise again, Joe, is going to mean this: less money for schools. Less state money for schools, less state money for parks, less state money for a lot of things. Because if people say, no, I want the parks, I want the schools, but I want the state to give the pension contribution as well, you tell me where the money comes from.
I know, and I always think
being governor is a crappy job.
No, it's a tough one, but you're making sense. But Senator Booker, our buddy Corey jumped on, and we were just saying, get jobs to Jersey. If you could just get jobs to Jersey, that would be great. And it's tough though, but because you got to give these big companies tax breaks when they come to Jersey, like you hear about New York. But wouldn't that be great just to run down Camden, run through Patterson, and just create jobs? And that might
absolutely, Joe. Listen, and the station, 970 is doing a great job. I mean, you've had so many terrific, programs, initiatives where you're going out and promoting jobs and working with companies. I love what you're doing. Here's the catch.
Yeah.
You got to watch. See, I do think tax incentives to bring companies in to be in your state versus New York and Connecticut, I like that because we're Jersey guys.
Right.
Except if you cut a tax deal that brings a company in to create jobs, right, is so much of a sweetheart deal that over time, that all of a sudden in that town that they're in, the town's not reaping the property tax benefits that they needed to get from that particular industry, and the other residents in the town are shouldering the burden. Then all of a sudden you got the residents saying, wait a minute, we wanted industry here, so it would take some pressure off us. Now, I don't want to be like a negative guy today, Joe, on May 1st, my wife's birthday, but I'll say this. You got to find the balance between how great of a sweetheart deal that is while still trying to bring them in. Balancing.
Hey, Steve Adubato, tell us about the Newark mayor's race, because it sounds so confusing to me. And, you know, our families come from that great city. It's a vital city. You just hear the bad things, but you and I know all the great things that are happening in the city.
Especially downtown.
Yeah, man, it's a jumping. But how's this Newark mayor's race turning out, man?
It's coming up on the 13th of May.
Yeah.
A hot race. Shavar Jeffries is a law. He works for the Gibbons Law Firm.
Yeah.
He's a sharp young guy. I like him a lot. Also, Raz Baraka has been the principal of Central High School, a councilman, very articulate and very outspoken. You know, in a lot of ways, Cory Booker, the ghost of Cory Booker, hangs over this race.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Raz Baraka's biggest charge against Shavar Jeffries is he's just like Cory Booker. I don't know. Is that a bad thing?
No, yeah, really.
Like the argument is he's not one of us, meaning he's not really a Newarker. And Shavar Jeffries is saying, let me get this straight. I'm born and raised in the South Port of Newark. When I'm 10 years old, my mother is shot dead by the man she's living with, not my father.
Yeah,
and then my father leaves me, and I'm raised by the Boys Club. Now, you know the Boys and Girls Club better than anyone else, right?
Yeah.
I get a scholarship by Ray Chambers, steps in to help this kid to go to Seton Hall Prep, and he winds up going to a Catholic school, and he winds up getting an education, and then coming back to run for mayor of Newark. And the charge against Shavar Jeffries is he's not really a Newarker. Why? Because he went and did well and came back?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty good to me.
Can you give us
I think Baraka has an edge right now.
Yeah.
I think Baraka has an edge right now. But Shavar Jeffries is coming on strong, and it's all about who gets out the vote on Election Day.
Steve Adubato on the line, AM970 Answer. Always lucky to have you on the show. Steve, I'll tell you what, man, we're going to look for you on CNN tonight. And we're
with Aaron Burnett out front.
That's great, man. And I'll tell you what, you're making Jersey proud, brother. And please give Jen our birthday best. And Steve, we always appreciate you taking the time.
Younger and hotter every year.
Okay.
I mean me, not Jen.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Jen. I'm joking.
You're the best, Steve. Thanks so much. Steve Adubato. All right, brother. Take care. 8:37 right now. That was Steve Adubato with Joe Piscopo in the morning. And we're going to go to Big Al right now in the news.